The Buffalo Bills were back on the practice field on Monday, and an injury to a key offensive player might overshadow what was a very, very solid all around day for the Bills offense. Let's talk about it now. I am Josh McCarty from Bills Chat. Left tackle Dion Dawkins is described as day to day with a hand injury. The Buffalo News reports that he banged his hand during practice. He was seen with the brace walking around the practice field. We'll get an update from Sean McDermott as the week goes on. Dion Dawkins is certainly a player the Bills cannot afford to lose. David Quessenberry would be the primary backup to Dawkins. He's been taking all the second team reps at left tackle, with Brandon Shell taking all the second team reps at right tackle. The fact that he's classified as day to day is encouraging, because that is historically Sean McDermott speak for short term, or not overly concerning. I would say that it was already highly unlikely that Dion Dawkins would have played in Saturday's preseason game against the Colts, but this hand injury on Monday probably all but cements it, and that is just fine. It is only August 7th. There's no reason to be a hero. The games don't matter for more than a month. The Bills need to get their left tackle 100% healthy for this Jets game. So for now, no reason to panic on Dion Dawkins. Speaking of Sean McDermott, he took the podium today, and one thing he said that was very notable was high praise of AJ Epenesa. AJ Epinesa, second round pick from 2020, is going into his contract year. And he's been a player similar to Boogie Basham, maybe also similar to Ed Oliver, that has come under the rage of fans for lack of production given the investments the Bills have made. And I think a lot of us thought that with the depth the Bills have added at the defensive line, when you look at Poona Ford and you talk about Leonard Floyd, that the Bills potentially might only have one roster spot for AJ Epinesa or Boogie Basham. That does not appear to be the case right now. Both players, in my opinion, have the trajectory to make this roster based on what we're seeing at training camp, both working with the ones in certain aspects. But the word Sean McDermott said about AJ Epinesa at his press conference on Monday spoke volumes to me. This is what McDermott said. He's a pivotal piece to our success this season. You can tell he put in a lot of work in the weight room prior to coming back to Buffalo in the spring. He continues to improve every day. Those are not the words from a coach about a player who's a roster bubble guy. Those are the words from a coach about a player that Sean McDermott is expecting to help them out in a pretty big way this year. And hopefully for AJ Epinesa, the combination of going into a contract year combined with probably a larger snap share early in the season, depending on what happens with Von Miller, gives him a chance to have his best season to date. The Bills' passing game was in full display on Monday, as the two shining stars were Trent Sherfield and Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid had two incredible catches, including one-handed catch on a ball that was kind of low and away, where he caught it right in front of Terrell Dodson. And you saw the video clip on BuffaloBills.com where Josh Allen kind of runs up to Dodson and says something to him. This was kind of a chippy practice. You had Spencer Brown getting into it with Terrell Bernard. You had Kyer Elam getting into it with Trent Sherfield. And I think this is to be expected. We're now a couple weeks into training camp. They have yet to hit anybody but themselves. They're tired of going up against each other, going up against the same person, rep after rep after rep. This is a team that needs a game badly. And I think this Colts game, even though you're probably not going to see a large contingent of starters or even important players out there, is going to be good for this team to just let off some steam. The other notable player in the passing game is Trent Sherfield, as he just continues to make the most of his opportunity. Right now, wide receiver 3 for the Bills, when it's not Dalton Kincaid in 12 personnel, is a three-way battle between Deontay Hardy, Trent Sherfield, and Khalil Shakir. It's felt to me all along like the Bills' preference would have been for Khalil Shakir to take that job and run with it. The problem is twofold. One, Khalil Shakir's had an inconsistent camp. He's had some good moments, but he's had a few too many drops for a role on this offense where you just need that player to be solid, not spectacular. The other problem is in the form of Trent Sherfield, who every time his number is called, comes through for the Bills in a major way. If you remember back to OTAs when Stephon Diggs was not on the field, the voluntary portion, make that clear, Trent Sherfield was working with the ones, and Josh Allen called him out specifically as a player that he had a lot of fun throwing the ball with and a player that he had a good connection with. I believe right now that Trent Sherfield is the front runner for that wide receiver 3 spot. I don't think any of the 3 guys are gonna be above a 50% snap share in this offense because I do think that Dalton Kincaid is going to have significant reps in 12 personnel, and I do think there will be a rotation based on matchups. But if Trent Sherfield can continue to be a weapon in the passing game, and he's already one of the best run blocking wide receivers in the entire NFL, he just allows this offense to continue to be more diverse, more multiple, more versatile, whatever words you want. And he's a very exciting player. He's finally got a chance to shine after being buried on really good wide receiver depth charts his entire career. And it sounds like he's making the most of his opportunity. Outside of Dion Dawkins, the Bills are a little banged up. Cam Lewis sat on Monday with a groin injury that stemmed from a collision on Sunday, going for an interception on a ball that was very high from Kyle Allen. Ed Oliver sat with back soreness. Reggie Gilliam sat with a groin injury. And wide receiver Isaiah Coulter sat with a knee injury. He's been out for a while. That's a tough situation for a guy like Isaiah Coulter, who really doesn't have a path to this roster outside of just blowing it up in training camp or the preseason. Every practice he misses just makes his opportunity to make this roster go from slim to none. Hopefully, for his sake, he can get back soon, maybe get himself at least into that priority practice squad conversation. But that's just tough timing all around for Isaiah Coulter. The Bills are back on the practice field on Wednesday. They have a day off on Tuesday. Only 2 training camp practices left for these Buffalo Bills. Man, it went by fast. And at the end of the week, the Bills have a football game. Kind of. They play the Colts at 1 p.m. Eastern at Highmark Stadium. Stay tuned to Bills Chat as we will keep you up to date on all the happenings at Bills training camp. I am Josh McCarty, and I will see you next time on Quick Chat.